Hello everybody. In the current affairs this week, the week ended 9th of November 2025. We always like to know how is our economy actually doing, and the best way to gauge the same is analyzing the corporate results. For the quarter 2, starting from 1st of July and ending on 30th of September, results of major companies are out. There are some trends which are very clearly visible. The first being that there is an uptick or increase in the revenue and sales, as also the profitability of major corporates, or rather by and large across the board. But a positive thing which is emerging is that the margins of business are getting better. So on increased sales, the incremental profit is still much better. The second trend is that mid-sized companies are performing better than the large ones. Thirdly, insofar as the sectors are concerned, oil and gas, telecom, green energy, real estate, and defense are doing quite very well. But banking, consumer goods, and pharma are laggards in terms of the numbers delivered this quarter. The learning from this is that any investment portfolio should be actively managed and should be diversified across market segments. As far as the Indian stock markets this week were concerned, Nifty 50 was down by 0.86%, Nifty mid cap was by and large unchanged, but Nifty small cap was down by 1.68%. FIIs were sellers to the extent of 1,600 crores, and DIIs, as always, have been buyers to the extent of more than 16,600 crores. The best performing sector this week was Nifty PSU Bank, which was up by more than 2%. In global commodities, Brent crude was down by more than 2%, and gold and silver were mildly negative by 0.5% each. As far as the global markets are concerned, there was something quite noteworthy. Nasdaq was down by 3% and S&P 500 was down by 1.61%. The decline in Nasdaq was attributed to sharp decline in several artificial intelligence AI stocks. The worry with the investors is that the kind of investments which are going into AI, the profits from these incremental investments might not be commensurate with these kinds of investments, and hence these prices might not stand justified in respect of different stocks. Nvidia and AMD each fell by more than 11% each. Meta declined by 7%. The second reason for the correction in the US market was that the job data from the US was quite discouraging. In the US, in the month of October, 153,000 people lost their jobs, and this is the highest number since last 20 years. On a year-on-year basis, it is expected that 1 million people will lose their jobs, and that is a 65% increase in comparison to last year. And the third important reason why the US markets corrected was a long shutdown of the US government. As we all know that right now, on account of the finance bills not being cleared by different houses of the US assemblies or senates, the expenditure on the government programs and government offices and all kinds of government expenditure is on a standstill, and it is a shutdown. And this is a longest shutdown in the history of the US. That is all for this week. Thank you.